and welcome to Weyermann's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this happy birthday card. It is a front fold easel card, so it actually stands up and you can put your greeting on the inside. So there's quite a few elements to this card. So you'll notice I have the pieces cut and I have put the sizes on them, primarily so that if you want to pause the video and write them down, and secondarily so that I remember what they are. So what we're going to start with is a piece of Misty Moonlight, cut 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So that's our base. That's our card base. Then we need a piece of basic white, 4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 5 1/4, and then we're going to score it again at 2 1/2, and we're actually going to end up folding this like this. So we cut it 4 by 11, scored it 5 1/4, and then again at 2 1/2, so it folds up, and that creates the front of the card. You now need to trim this to 10 1/4. I trim it when I'm finished just to make sure that I can get this to line up. If I cut it beforehand, sometimes it doesn't actually line up. So those are the measurements for those pieces. And then we need a piece of the hand-penned designer series paper in 5 by 3 3/4, and another piece of that same pattern of paper, 5 by 2 1/4. And these are going to be the elements that make up this. You can't really see it behind all the embellishment, but there is, this piece is in behind here. So then what I've done is I've taken the stamp from the hand-penned Petals set, and I've stamped it in Misty Moonlight. And then I colored it in. The leaves are in light soft seafoam. The flower, the little flower, is in light pale papaya. The larger flower is in light Highland heather, and the center of the pale papaya flowers is in light daffodil delight. So I just colored those in. And what I did is I actually trimmed them up so that they would fit better. And I'll show you how I did that when I build the card. I've taken the happy birthday greeting from the sweet ice cream set and cut it out with the Stitched So Sweetly die. So I've done all of the pre-work on this just so I can show you how we built the card. So again, the colors that I stamped in is Misty Moonlight, and the other colors are soft seafoam, pale papaya, daffodil delight, and Highland heather, all the light Stampin Blends colors. And I used the die from the Penned Flowers dies to cut out the shapes. So I'll just go through the details again. A Stitched So Sweetly die to cut out the happy birthday greeting. The happy birthday from Sweet Ice Cream. The stamp from hand-penned Petals, and the the Penned Flowers dies. So let's put those out of the way and let's just start building the card. So we have our card base. Now we have our card front, and we're going to attach it like this, just like it's a card mat, except it's actually going to extend. So you've got your card base like this, and then you put your card front on like this. So I am just going to use some Stampin' Seal and attach this to the front of the card base. Sorry, I've just swished everything right out of the way. Okay, so to put this down, I've actually folded it in half so that I can place it the same way I would if I was putting a mat on the front of the card, just so it's even. So there we go. And now I'm going to open this up. So I've got this long strip. I'm going to take my piece of DSP that is cut to 5 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to attach it to the mat on the card front, just like that. So this is what we've got. We've got our card base, and then we've got the front. So if this wasn't here, this would be just a regular card front. But what we've got is we've got the kind of the easel fold there. So now we're going to take our 5 by 2 1/4, and we're going to attach it to the front. And we are just going to make sure it's the right way up. And then we're just going to center that the same way we would center any piece. Drop it down like that. If you find it's not laying as flat as you like, you can always at any point, you can take your bone folder and just give it another push, just to crisp up those folds. And your card will now sit up. You can see the shape of it, and it actually sits up. So now we need to build the front of the card. We've got our happy birthday. I'm just going to pull the card in so that you can see it. I'll move the dimensions over. So what we've got is this is the original piece that I cut out, and I was trying to figure out how I would place it on here without covering up the greeting. So what I did is I cut the leaf off. You can see this one's got a leaf here. I cut that leaf off, and when I put it on, it fits perfectly right on the happy birthday. So I just put a bit of Stampin' Seal along the bottom of the pale papaya flower and across that one leaf. And then I layered that on the card so that the stem went between the happy and the birthday. So that's attached like that now. And then I went ahead and I dimensionalized this piece to the front of the card. So 30 seconds ago I had my dimensionals. There we go. Okay, so I'm putting dimensionals around the bottom, and you can see, sorry, as I put that right in the camera, it sticks up above the edge of the fold. So we don't want to put dimensionals right up to the very top here, but we can put them towards the top. So let's peel those off and put this on our card front. I played with a couple of different stamps from the hand pen Petals set and the die cuts just to see how I would put things together. And I really liked this one best of all. So I'm just going to center this just so it's just that little bit above. Again, it's just a little bit above that fold. Now we can build the bottom of the card. So I have here, this is actually a separate leaf, because when I put this down at the bottom, I knew I wanted it to go here, but then this and this are too low. So I cut off the pale papaya flower and the leaf. So then I was able to dimensionalize this onto the bottom of the card like that. So I put dimensionals on, if you lay it out the way you want it, I need to put a dimensional here and a dimensional on this leaf here. And I can put just some Stampin' Seal on the top just to help adhere it. So we're just going to place this in. So we're not covering up the greeting, but it's on the card. So we put that like that. And then we take the pale papaya flower that we cut off, put a dimensional on it, and tuck it on this side like this. And then we take this leaf that we cut off, and I'm just going to actually round the edges just a little bit. It's got a very straight edge to it. So I'm just going to trim that up so it's rounded, so it looks a bit more like it belongs. And then I put a dimensional on the back of this, right in the middle like that. And then I popped it on the bottom like that. So that is your finished easel happy birthday card. If you wanted to put a piece of basic white cardstock inside, you can. This one's nice too, because if you wanted to write a bit of a letter in here, you could put your basic white here, and you could make it a letter, or you can use a Sharpie or a bolder pen to write on here. But that is a fun fold easel fold card wishing someone a happy birthday. Thank you so much for watching today, and let's create together again soon.